we spoke to one of the biggest telecoms retailers in the UK at the time, Charles Dunstan, who owns Carphone Warehouse, and I thought this would be a chance to bring their company to Nigeria, but he said they wouldn't be able to expand past Europe at that point in time. But I knew there was a lot of opportunities in Nigeria, well, over 100 million people, you know, and nobody had a GSM phone. So it was going to be huge, and I saw that as an opportunity to come back and be part of that growth. And I knew that playing in any part of the value chain in that industry would be a huge success. And that first move advantage, it was very key and very important to, you know, owning a good percentage of the market. So I saw that opportunity and came back and you know, and I did that. I chose a focus because that came with the experience that I had in the telecoms, basically. I consulted for a company called AOL, Mviva, which was a mobile wireless service, basically, where consumers could go on their phone, on the internet, on their phone, and, you know, download content and read, you know, all sorts of stuff. So when I came back to Nigeria, the sector that I had that experience in was value-added services. Value-added services was a new thing as well, obviously, for Nigeria. I know the networks roll out their networks with voice calls as their primary, you know, revenue stream, but value-added services is something that also adds to that revenue stream. So that's why I focused in that area when I came back into Nigeria. Our services have initially focused on providing value-added services for subscribers through the network operators, but we've kind of like expanded our product portfolio. We haven't gone and done something completely different, sort of like selling computers or phones, but we've now used the technology that the operators provide to provide other kinds of services. So now we can use telecommunications technology and use it for a marketing purpose for a company, and they can use telecommunications technology to interact and communicate with their customers. So that is kind of like not the core value-added services that a telecoms operator would provide for subscribers, you know, but it's still, you know, around mobile technology. And so we've kind of like grown our product portfolio to serve other clients as well. We actually focused on the telcos for the first 2 years, providing content to subscribers. Then we realized that there was an opportunity, and that if we didn't grow into that sector, that there would be other players that would come in and take that market. And you know, you need to in this industry, you have to have as many revenue streams as possible, because if you just rely on the networks alone, what happens if there's a lot of competition? What if the law entity comes and changes the law? You know, there were several reasons why we had to also open up more revenue streams, you know, when we saw that opportunity. So it took a few years to do that, because a lot of the other companies, talking to brands and stuff like that, to adopt mobile technology, it took a while, because a lot of them are very traditional in their ways, even till now. So it took years of, you know, convincing a lot of marketers that mobile is the future, digital is the future. It's the typical technology kind of story you see happening in America and in other parts of the world, where you get this idea and you literally just don't have any money at all to start your business, and literally start from your house. You know, my office was in my house when I started iConcepts. When I registered the company, I was working out from my room, actually, for the first year. We took the long road, but again, it was a time when everything was new. It was new technology, it was new products, it was a completely new market that people just didn't understand. So it was hard, you know, to get investors, to get people to understand that this is, you know, huge. So that's why we started out on our own. Within the first 3-4 months, we signed our first client, who literally was able to finance all our operations for the first year, you know. So after that, it was later I opened up my office, and then we just grew from there. they actually believe in direct communication. And what we're lucky with is that they're an international company, they're a blue chip company, and they have offices in other parts of the world that are developed that also had already had advanced telecommunication services running in those countries. So when we presented our proposals and our ideas to them, it wasn't very difficult for them to see the advantages in doing that. On the telecommunication side, the operators also understood value-added services. The telecommunication people understood that value-added services was important and that their subscribers will need to do more than just use their phone for making phone calls. Proudest moment was actually meeting a president of Nigeria. We did a campaign for a president of Nigeria. During his campaign, we basically did something called a voice campaign, where you could get a recording of someone running for a campaign or any kind of recording, and you could basically send that out to people on their mobile phones. So someone's phone would ring and you'd hear the voice of the person saying, you know, vote for me. So we did that for president. So we met the president and we spent a lot of time, you know, with him for like an hour talking about politics and many other things about Nigeria. And it was great, actually. It was a great time meeting the president. Well, I think I'm going to be part of this company as, you know, the CEO for as long as I have the passion for it. The day I think I can't do the job anymore, and where I wake up in the morning and I think, oh, I can't do this, I'm bored of doing this, then I'll step down. Because this business moves so fast in terms of change and technology. If you're a technology company, there's stuff that's happening every single day globally. And now that we're a global village, you can't say, oh, if they're doing that in the UK and the US, it's not going to happen in Nigeria. No. The CEO is meant to work on a business and not in the business. So if I'm not around, business can still go on. It's very, very open and relaxed. Everybody's young over here. And, you know, I think that we just want everyone to excel in their jobs, you know, so we make sure that we hire the best in their areas, and we make sure that the company takes care of their staff. So it's a close, small family that everyone knows that we care about each other. We go to each other's parties and birthdays and stuff like that. We hang out all the time after work. So we care about each other apart from work as well. Well, when I worked in the UK, Charles Johnson was the CEO of a company called Carphone Warehouse, which is the organization I worked with before I came back. And he was a young guy. You know, he was in his early 30s when he started the business, you know, and I actually used to email him and chat with him all the time to find out how he, you know, started his business. And he was very open and he spoke to everyone in the company. So I think that was the first time that I realized that a young person can excel in business. In terms of mentorship, I didn't have someone ongoing constantly, but it was just experiences and that I had seen and grabbed in different places that was able to get me to actually go off on my own and start this business. You know, and if you don't have, when you're such a young person and you start up your own business, then you don't have someone directly that you're reporting to all the time on a daily basis that you can learn a lot from. So you now have to kind of like look for inspiration, and in other places as a young person, you don't have the training and experience of how to run a business. So having someone that you can look up to all the time kind of like gives you that guide, and you can learn a lot from them. What has made me successful, I think, is the fact that I persevere, like at all times. Like nothing knocks me down. No experience I've had, bad experiences or times where I've just thought that I can't do this anymore. Nothing actually stops me from going forward. I'm a hard worker and I get up every day, and you know, I just see every disappointment as a blessing in disguise. So I don't give up. I'm a fighter. There has to be care in what you do, you know. So I have the passion for the business, and I surround myself with people that have passion for working for this kind of organization. I'm a family man, so talking about how I balance my work and family life, I think it's kind of easy because I think I've chosen well, so my family kind of like respects the fact that I'm the CEO of a company and they understand that I can't be there all the time. I think family comes first for me and then my business, and I found that if you create an organization that can run without you necessarily being there all the time, then it's easy to take time off your work and spend time with family. iConcepts is here to stay. I think that because it's technology and we love technology, and technology is the future in everything you see now. So the company is going to keep growing. We're going to grow into other markets apart from Nigeria. We're already doing stuff in Ghana at the moment. We're going to move into other territories in Africa. And we're going to be here for a while because I think companies will just keep believing more in technology, and every single person is just going to keep looking at what the new kind of services that you can get using technology. So as long as we stay innovative, then we're going to be here for a while.